like this topic is somewhere very close to my heart because the beauty of being imperfect, yes, but everyone strives to be perfect, even, but still, we must cherish, understand the beauty in imperfection. Even the poets have always, like, for example, talking about the moon, है ना, बहुत सारी कविताएं शायरी हुई है उसके ऊपर, और लोग कहते हैं चांद में भी दाग, बट स्टिल ब्यूटिफुल. So let's talk about this something we all struggle with, trying to be perfect. Because we always feel the need to get everything just right. Like our room needs to be super clean, or we would we should look exactly how we want to look on social media, or like the people in the movies, the actor and actresses. So whenever we go out, we should be so perfectly presentable. But guess what? Being imperfect is actually pretty awesome. And that is what I'm going to tell you today. Why? Let's imagine we are coloring a picture and you're trying to be perfect. Now, you might get frustrated if you color outside the lines, right? So because it's a coloring book. And you might even start over again and again until you feel it's just right. But that doesn't sound fun, right? But what if instead you just enjoyed coloring however you wanted? Maybe your sky is purple instead of blue. Or maybe your dog has polka dots. Now that's being authentic, being true to yourself rather than trying to match some idea of perfection. Think about your friends. Do you like them because they are perfect? Or do you like them because they are real? They make you laugh and they're there for you even when they mess up sometimes. Isn't that so? Let me talk about a friend of mine, Suman. She's a loud, snotty laugh that some people think is weird. But then that laugh is so contagious that it makes everyone around her happy. So if she tried to have a perfect, quiet laugh, that's people who keep it as a standard, will all miss out on the joy her real laugh brings. And in the yesterday's session, I was talking about the Japanese art of Kintsugi. Now, if you remember that, it's really cool that Japanese art where they fix broken pottery with gold. So instead of throwing away a broken bowl or trying to hide the cracks, they highlight them with shiny gold. The result? Something even more beautiful than before it was broken. So, and let's imagine if we treated ourselves this way. When something doesn't go right in our lives, what if instead of feeling bad about it, we said, hey, this is just adding some gold to my story? My uncle lost his job a few years ago. It was really sad at first. But then he used that time to start a small business doing exactly what he loves, baking cookies. Yes. And his broken career path led to something even better, just like those golden cracks in pottery. So, if I say that, do you know that your so called flaws might actually be your superpowers. Like my little brother has trouble sitting still in class because he has so much energy. Sometimes he gets in trouble for it. But that same energy makes him an amazing soccer player and dancer. Now, his too much energy isn't a flaw, it's just his special part being used in the wrong setting. Or think about glasses. Some kids feel embarrassed when they first get glasses. But glasses are cool. They help you see better, and they can be a fashion statement too. So, what seemed like a problem is actually something that makes you unique. And let's talk about the stars or heroes or heroines we whom we believe to be perfect. But the truth is, they have their imperfections too. I'm sure you must have heard about Meena Kumari, the great actress of the past. If you've ever seen any of her movies and observed, she always kept one hand covered in stroll in her stall. Why? Because she had 6 fingers. But if we talk about today, about Ritik Roshan, even he has it, but he always shows up on screen. It is her imperfection, his imperfection, but he's okay with it. And do we mind? No. Many famous scientists failed hundreds of times before making their big discoveries. Even superheroes have weaknesses. Superman has kryptonite, and Spider Man, in every movie we have seen, he struggles with his teenage problems. So, though they are superheroes, but they have their share of imperfections. So, when we stop trying to be perfect, something magical happens. Yes, we feel free. And that's a beautiful feeling. We can try new things without worrying about being the best. We can share our real thoughts without fear. We can dance like nobody is watching, even though they probably are, and that's okay. So now I want you to think about 3 things about yourself that you might sometimes see as imperfections. And if you want, you can definitely note them down and how they actually make you unique and special. For example, maybe you talk a lot. So that means you have lots of ideas and enthusiasm to share. So that's a positive side to it. Or perhaps you are super sensitive. So now that probably means you are compassionate and understands others' feelings very deeply. Or for students, let's say, that you get distracted very easily. Now, that might mean that you notice details others miss, or you have a creative mind that's always exploring. So, there's a beautiful quote that says, "The cracks are where the light enters you." Think about that for a moment. So when we have cracks, when we make mistakes or aren't perfect, that's when we learn. That's when we grow. And that's when the light gets in. So I would say, actually, we should not be perfect at all because in that way, we stops our growth. Because when we keep on believing that we are imperfect, We are always trying to do better. And that's what growth is all about. So, actually, your imperfections tell your unique story. They show where you have been brave, where you have learned, or where you have grown. They make you real. They make you you. So here's a challenge for you. This week, celebrate one of your imperfections. Maybe give yourself permission to be messy at something new. Or maybe share a story about a mistake that taught you something. Or maybe compliment someone else on what makes them truly imperfect. So love the imperfections of the people. Acknowledge them. Don't judge them. Yes. Remember, we are not meant to be perfect. We are meant to be real. And real is so much more interesting, more beautiful, more human than perfect could ever be. So, with that thought, thank you everyone for listening. And definitely, I can't wait to see your beautiful, imperfect light shine through. Thank you.